under par. Now, Nelly let one get away at the third, but this was her second at the fourth.
Bogey at the third was a 3-putt.
Yeah.
A cold putter to start the morning, but this should help.
Reels that one in, and so that takes Nelly back. And out there at the sixth is Nelly, and watching is Karen Stupples. Good morning, Karen.
Well, good morning. It's been a fairly fresh start to the day for these players, but things starting to warm up now. It's a 7-iron for Nelly. A little bit of help in this win, not much, but enough.
It in, but that one was really short with the backswing.
Nelly, as usual, looks like she's going to chip this, Karen.
She is. She's found a little upslope at the front of the green, but had a couple of choices of club, and eventually settling on this one.
Trying to chip it in. She's always trying to chip it in from those tight lies. Loves to chip. The tighter the lie, almost the better for now.
Saturday. And back at the sixth after lipping out that chip, Nelly for par.
Well, at least the good news is that Nelly would have seen this ball rolling past the hole, so she knows the line, so she doesn't have to worry about that.
Putter has not cooperated much. On the tee at the seventh, Nelly Korda.
And this is a dogleg round to the right. The bunker on the left of the corner is 247 to get to it.
Take it over the credit, and Nelly Korda.
I'd play it a little off the right, but it's pretty much straight in. All right, just a stock one.
Nelly has a 7-iron out for this shot. 153 is the yardage. You heard Jason say they're going to play this one a little bit into the wind. Certainly feels that way. Ball slightly above her feet. Hole location only on 4 yards. This one going on a draw.
At the seventh, the third for Nelly Korda.
Well, if you miss the greens, you're going to get into some thicker rough, and this is in some thick stuff. Plenty of green to use, though.
There was that bunker-style swing that she used there. Just really imperative. Keep your weight forward, keep the acceleration up, but with setting herself there, there's so much high in emotion that comes from a victory like that. But wonderful to see her playing well again last week.
All right, Nelly for what would be a really nice up and down for par.
Well, and this putt is so much depending on speed, because we saw how much Hannah's broke to the right. Nelly's also will break to the right. Her pace has been a little short today, so I expect this one to just drip in the left side. Oh, no problem there.
So Nelly still in search of that first victory of 2025 after 7 last year. Nelly Korda on the tee at the 8th.
There's another slight dogleg to the right, back into the wind with this tee shot today. A couple of bunkers, one on the right, one on the left.
It's been an easy fairway to hit so far this morning. There.
House there. There's the 15th. And we are down the lower level at the 8th for the second for Nelly.
And she has 161. 6-iron out for Nelly. Pretty flat lie. Really a great tee shot for Nelly to give her this opportunity. This is a good looking iron, just slightly left of the hole.
Like she Tried to hold the face a little bit more open through that one with that controlled follow through. Perfect distance control.
The hill is very steep, Grant.
Tom making his grand entrance as usual.
Yeah, I was watching some of those caddies walk up that hill yesterday. I'm sure they would have loved to have that little ride up the hill.
All right, Nelly now after a terrific approach. This for birdie.
Yeah, Hannah's missed her putt already. And so this one, yeah, it's a tough hole. I mean, she's been unlucky. She's had a mud ball, she's had a divot. Hasn't really been her day. And sometimes you get on a run of tournaments like that, but Nelly has an opportunity here. Back uphill, a little bit of movement to the right in this putt.
Yeah, under par for the first time after an early bogey. Her best 2 rounds are the first 2 rounds. And right, Nelly under par for the first time here. She plays the 9th.
And it's a tough tee shot with the river on the right. You got to really know what your carry is, and this one's just down the left side.
It's probably the most intimidating looking tee shot on the golf course as well. No room for bail.
Back at the 9th, Nelly Korda.
And she has 141. 8 on off of a downhill lie. Hannah's downhill lie was significant enough to allow her not to make great contact, so she's going to have to get up and down from the rough, short left of the green.
You see Rio Takeda has joined Aphrodite Dang at 4 under par. Nelly Korda is at the 9th for her 3rd.
Got a little bit of an upslope, and as we've seen it before, I think she's going to give this a good run to try and get it in the hole.
Type of shot that I think just about everybody watching at home is like, why isn't she pulling a putter? Because the fringe is just flawless as well, but she loves those shots. Jason said when he first started caddying for her, he had to get used to like not pulling the putter out of the bag immediately, as he would for just about any other player.
Of 11th. Now the par attempt for Nelly at 9.
Yeah, and I think as the day's gone on, the little dewiness that was on these greens earlier is definitely burnt off, and the greens look like they're even more smooth if that's possible, but definitely rolling just a hair faster because of it.
Missed some birdie opportunities early, but some good saves for Nelly, and she'll make the turn at 1 under. Well, Morgan, if she is feeling concerned or upset about having not won yet this year, she's not showing it. I hear in her press conferences, as we scour them week to week, that she's saying a lot of what she said last year. I just want to keep playing as well as I can and give myself chances.
Yeah, that's all you can do. You can't focus on the result. The result is winning. You have to focus on the process. And Nelly talks constantly about staying in her bubble and staying focused on that process. It's easy to get caught out with results and focused on results. And it's kind of putting the cart before the horse. You can't think about it that way. You have to just keep working on the things that you believe in with your team. She relies very heavily on her team and believes in them tremendously, just as they believe.
Ask some of the local kids here designed those for the tee markers here at the 10. And as always, big crowds following Nelly. It's going to be a big day. Brooke
Right into
Henderson will
46
tee off.
playing 49. I think you just hit it at that Mac Kids, the left one.
Little after 1 o'clock for Brooke. Start her championship. Says 8 iron here for Nelly. Karen?
It is. Just I mean, it's the perfect club really for a 145-yard shot. Wind off the left for Nelly with this tee shot. It's placed slightly uphill though. Not much though. It's moving right on the wind.
That early 3-putt bogey for Nelly, but now a chance to get to 2 under. Nelly Korda lining up this birdie putt at 10th.
Now this one's got some left movement to it, but I also think that it's going to be quite a little bit slower because of the angle that the hole is tilted towards her. So it's going to be one that she's going to have to try and keep the speed up on.
Would she have gotten a little read, Karen, from Hannah's putt?
Not quite, just a slightly different angle.
The crowd wanting to document the moment, unfortunately not able to convert there.
Okay, off to the top here. And Nelly on the tee at the 11th.
Morgan was telling about how this is a tough golf hole today. Length is long. You've got a bunker on the left that comes into play, so you've got to try and keep this a little bit right of that.
It's also one of the toughest fairways to hit. First cut, not.
Just keeps chipping away. From the first cut, Nelly at 11.
But also with a bunch of mud on the top of the ball.
Really a guessing game when you have the mud in the middle of the golf ball like that on top. Which way is it going to go?
From long range, Nelly Korda for birdie at the 11th.
It is from long range, and it's also uphill as well. So she's going to have to negotiate that just a little bit.
Better form here in the second third of the season.
A couple of par fives in a row.
Play Nelly.
Beginning at the 12th for Nelly.
And it's a little bit unfair, but this one's playing back into the wind. So that makes it even less likely that players will be having to go at this one in two.
Yeah, that make them quite difficult.
At the 12th, Nelly.
Yeah, just a layup for Nelly. Understandable with all the trouble that's in front of this green and into the wind.
She stayed on top of that really nicely with her upper body. Her iron swing.
95.
Now Nelly.
And this is like a 54 degree for Nelly. Back into that wind. You can hear that she's playing a little bit extra for that wind.
She can use the backstop if she so chooses.
That's got to go.
Yeah. Disappears. Tie the lead. Nelly's fourth is at the 12th.
Yeah, she had to work hard to dig that one out of some thick grass.
3-putt bogey early for Nelly at the 3rd. Clean card since. She'll have that for par.
Phoenix, I believe it was last year, that really led her to an amazing summer.
Nelly Korda, par putt at the 12th.
This one is a bit uphill. And it looks like it might still go a little bit to the right, so, but not much, just inside the hole.
Meanwhile, the 15-year-old amateur Aphrodite Ding remains in front. She's up in the group ahead of Nelly, who's on the tee at the par 5 13th.
Well, and this hole will eventually take a smidge of a dogleg round to the right, but it's very much all in front of you, as you were saying, Morgan. You can run it through the fairway on the left if you're not careful at 248, so trying to squeeze this a bit more right.
That'll be a forced layup from that position. But yeah, Karen, this golf course is right in front of you. It's kind of a dream course for caddies who have never seen it before, coming out to walk. Not a lot of tricks.
No, it's also a dream course for walkers to walk, because you can cut across onto the other fairways from the green.
With the LPGA Tour in this championship for the last dozen years. All right, Nelly in the bunker off the tee, second to here. Here's her third.
Yeah, just from 81 yards, trying to get some backspin, which she does. It's only 4 yards on, so really taking advantage of the contours of the green there.
Yeah, some real redemption there, Karen, after that poor wedge on the previous hole.
Golf ball, so getting clean contact early was a little tougher. So I think it's been harder for some of these players to really judge the approach shots as accurately as they needed to with these front hole locations.
Do you see it being a little different this afternoon as it warms up?
I think so. I think the afternoon will have a slightly easier time of it. However, it depends on how much this wind picks up. If the wind picks up more this afternoon, then I think it could be fairly even.
Now Nelly, she's really held it together today with some good saves, and now her third birdie. And she leapfrogs a handful and moves up into the tie for fourth.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been the easiest day to play, as Karen and I were just talking about there, especially just a little brisk this morning. But it's not about, you're not going to win the tournament.
And the green is clear at the 14th, and here is Nelly after the birdie.
Well, she's got a 6-iron out from 162, and this has been about the windiest part of the course I've visited so far today. Back into the players' faces. So Nelly keeping the 6-iron down a bit lower because of that.
Yeah, I think took a good bit extra club there and tried to just control it under the wind. A little bit too much draw, which is a tendency when you are.
Get another to drop this at the 14th for birdie.
Oh, I think she has this moving to the right.
She had 6 one-putts in her last 8 holes, a 2-putt par coming up here at the 14th for Nelly. 7 players in that group at 2 under. As if next week in Boston near her home won't be a big enough party. Now Nelly on the tee at the 15th as the Credit River winds its way through this par 4 as well.
It is an impressive river as well, and there's some cool rapids along it as well. But this tee shot for Nelly is back downwind, which brings that bunker quite into play. So keep it a little bit more down the left.
Yeah, that river certainly was moving yesterday after that rain that fell overnight. Perfect angle from that tee shot right there up the right center.
The strength of the wind earlier, Morgan, it's getting a bit stronger out here.
Now Nelly.
She has 152. This shot does play quite uphill.
Where we've seen a lot of players end up short with that elevated green, not taking enough with the wedge.
And let's see if Nelly on the 3rd try from a similar spot of this group can get the speed right.
Yeah, it's just not easy because you're putting so much, you know, what looks like up into that hill. It's very easy to be confused by the other 2 putts. But I think somewhere in the middle would do nearly just fine here. And try not to think about the steep climb coming up next.
Little Goldilocks action here, just right.
Oh, that'll do.
That's the best of the bunch by far. And she was 1 over early with a 3-putt, but has really played solidly. Number 2 in the world is 2 under. Today comes up a little short there, and back on the tee, Nelly Korda.
Back into a little bit of breeze, but this is a really generous fairway. Plenty of room on either side to use. I think the wind might be a little out of the right and hurting at the moment.
She's She's looked really solid with her driver swings today, but very smooth and rhythmic. Stayed on top of it nicely. Another perfect one right there.